3. Hey guys, welcome back. We're actually going to be using 3 videos for it. I'm going to start with the Lost Soul, move into the all air unit, and then move into the air and ground unit. The other one's already recorded it. I have it here. This is actually a replay, which I forgot to record it. Thank God for the replay because I don't have to actually do it again. I'm actually going to show the full line of this because again, this is technically my main one. The other one doesn't need full line because you can actually choose whatever type of T1 units or T2 units and such. So I'm actually going to fast forward this right here because I went to get something to drink and then I start summoning the monsters out of here. Something actually you can do. You just get a drink and then wait for the power to build up and such. I actually going to have the Soul Splicer back here because again sometimes you have units coming from both sides in both 9 and 10. But in this time it didn't actually came, but I kept it there just in case. And here's where I actually start battling. I will use a motivate over here on one of them. There is about to die, and I use the involvement because I am going to use T Shadow Phoenix to actually carry me to the next area, which wasn't so bad. Usually it is bad, but it wasn't so bad in here. So again, I did use motivate. You see it right here. Nox Trooper gets 50 to 55, I think, more damage around there. And then again, I get the monument first because I'm going to summon the Shadow Phoenix. Again, I can't see this obviously ahead of time, but again, I just use the Shadow Phoenix to try to finish the area completely. I'm actually going to fast forward this. I'm just going to destroy everything in the back and then move slowly and start summoning the furnace. I use this right here because I'm not sure how big the army is. When I saw it was only like 2 of them, I just destroyed it and then you just put on the furnace. Again, at one point I'm going to defend this here, Cultist Master. I'll destroy all this Cultist Master and then feed up the furnace where the void power goes into the current power, the actual power pool. I'm gonna use Amy up here because again I'm playing alone. I still keep Amy in the other areas. Haven't got the chance to actually using in 9. I did get one time to use it in 10. I don't use 10 much. It's like really small amount. It's just specific people inviting me, but not a lot of people. Again, the majority of the time of the focus of the RPVE is 9, not 10. Only speedrunner majority of the time does it unless you have a group specifically inviting you and it's like one of your friends or something like that. So again, this is a map 9, but sometimes when you're having 10, I did use the Ami Monument because it was actually a little bit harder to get to the next area. So I used Ami Monument because he didn't want me to use his monument, stuff like that. He just wanted to have his monument. Well, anyway, I will use the Ami Monument right here, and then I'm going to move and start summoning me Lost Spitter Ship. And I'm going to use the recycle for the armor tower. Again, the armor tower only going to cost about 80, but because of the construction HUD, it's going to cost about 25% less, which is going to be 60, and it's going to construct 55% faster. And I want to move to this area because again, there are 2 power wells here that I want to use the resource boosters and stuff. And most of the time, majority of the time, you actually do finish map before this actually goes off in RPVE 4. RPVE 9, but 4-man maps, not the single map with the 2-man map and such. So I'm going to move forward a little bit slowly. I thought it was big, so I actually used the warp mistake on that. And again, I'm going to move forward and keep using the Lost Spirit ship heals and such, so I can actually keep my ships healed. So I'm going to actually grab these 2, use the constructed HUD, summon the spirit ship, start using the armor tower here. At one point, I do run out of armor tower, and there's a reason why I like to have time vortex, I say this is what it's called. You don't actually have to upgrade it to actually have more HP because it doesn't have more HP for the upgrade. It actually have more damage. So it's something that you can use right away and just suck it. It's about 2,300 life. The armor tower, which during the time that before I promoted the Lost Spirit ship and stuff like that, I was the only one using it, which I used it more than 238 times, and during that time no one actually used the armor tower and so on. So nobody uses the again the Lost Spirit ship with the recycle. Everybody uses it with regrowth. So I actually moved here, used the warp, and I was hoping that the warlord will move with me because I put all the heals in here. So you have to be very careful when you're doing this. He doesn't die. I shut down the Bandit Walker with the green affinity, so he wasn't going to die during this area, but I move it to the left so he can actually get his heal and so on. At one point, I started noticing the grinders are going to keep coming here. So at one point, when I do save this area, because I summoned and lost Warlord and the Green Affinity, I actually put all the Cultist Masters back here so I can actually be able to save it. Now, in this area, what happened here is that the reason why I returned back to this area instead of moving up is because my keyboard actually fucked up. I couldn't use any button on my keyboard, so I was using everything with mouse. So again, right, if you hold click on the right mouse, you can move the map all the way around like this. And I actually summoned, I used the hold button to keep it in place, and I used one of them, double click it, and use the crystal. Once I actually fixed my keyboard, I started moving forward. So apologies about that. Something that you probably shouldn't even be able to see. So I'm going to move forward. Again, don't need to use the warp in here, nothing big or anything like that. I don't want to get frozen. I think, I actually go to the back line, sorry. Over here, they don't get frozen. I'll say that later on. But again, I moved to the back line to actually kill everything, and that's where I saw the warlords killing my resource boosts and stuff like that. So I summoned 2, and you'll be using these. Again, I'm at 1,000 power and stuff like that. I'm not that I have a bunch of spells, you know, to use. But again, I did ran out of armor tower. I used the furnace, no problem. I think I might take in 4 men, I might take Emmy out. But majority of the map, I never run out of armor tower before the next match or something like that. I always get to the point to actually clear everything. This is solo, so it's a little bit much different, so you always have to alternate things. So I actually wait for the grinders because I knew they were going to come, destroy the grinders, and then I'm going to move forward with my stuff, and then also move the Cultist Master back to this area. Just in case if the grinder comes, the Cultist Masters will handle it with his ability. Now, Ice Lord actually freezes my monster, so I wanted to like move to the back with the ward, Nether Warp. I only have blue. The other one costs way too much. And then I use the Green Affinity Dragon to actually shut down the bandit walkers that are right here, plus some towers and so on. Now, just remember, if I actually click right here for the Green Affinity, you'll see that every 3 unit deals damage, blah, blah, blah. Enemies with the affected area will additionally be contaminated and can neither use the range, attack, nor special ability. So again, that also go for towers or this bandit walker. They can't use their ability or anything like that. So once I shut that down and I'm hitting the bandit walker, it also has the small, you see that area right here, the green, yellow? That small area was also close to the cannon tower, so the cannon tower couldn't actually do anything else either. So again, after that, I started focusing on the Ice Lord because I didn't want him to freeze all my units before the heal and before all those bandit walkers started attacking my lost warden. Warlord. I moved down just in time to actually stop the next area, and then again I moved to this area, used another warp to get in it, summon the use the ability of the Lost Spirit ship to have some areas covered by heals using my Lost Demon, which again everything gets by 50%. That is the Revenant, which is all the Green Dragon, the ships, and the Lost Warlord. And then I actually use the Dragon to start shutting down these walkers over here. As you see, one is hitting here, and I target the others to hit this one right here. So as you see, boom, 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 boom. Walker doesn't do anything. No one gets massive damage to them or anything like that. So again, I'm gonna move forward. Oh, I wanted to actually show this right here. Ah, damn. Can't believe I actually missed that. What I did right here was the Arctic's Call, and that's something that I just wanted to show you guys in here. I do have enough to actually finish the map. 2 of these heals is just enough for this small camp or anything like that, but I want to show it because Arctic's Call basically it's the same thing as Construction Hut, except you don't get the 25% reduced cost of the whatever you're actually summoning, but you actually get the 50 to 55, I think, speed of constructed. So see, they get really close. Constructed really quickly, and then I use the Lost Spirit ship to actually recycle them, and then I move forward to the end of the area where I use my as you see, I use my Nether Gate to move to the back because this is actually the problem, and I don't want to fight this. I forgot that one of the freaking you gotta be careful not to make sure that one of the ships move out. So again, as you see, he's getting hit. I move back to the heal, and then I move back in. I do use his ability. You've probably not seen that. I used his warp to actually have 50% more damage with the loss of vacation and so on, so I can have maximum damage on the XL unit. He is XL, So again, it's 50% damage against XL creatures, and then 50% more damage for his ability. Plus, if you have the lost evocation, 50% more damage for that. I actually didn't know where it was, so I actually killed one of my units over here. And the reason I did that is because I wanted to summon them over here and then start searching for the last area, and I knew it was supposed to be here. So I used another warp to move these guys a little bit closer and then use Soul Shatter. So that is technically how you actually play. The list should be on the last previous video, I think. Yeah, it should be on the last previous video. If I don't have it on both, I'll check, and if you have any question, just ask. We're gonna move to the next two videos, the last two videos. So at this point, I just want to show you a little quick thing with the Shadow Phoenix and stuff like that. The bottom cards in here is, there's cards that you don't even really need to use, like Decomposer. Once you actually have the Shrine Award, you just use one of the ships in there to get all the void power into it. I just try to use these down here just so I can get to the area faster, because I wanted to get to the video faster and finish it quicker and such. But again, you can look at the previous video to actually see some of the cards that you will be using for it. Again, the T1s, it's up to you. I do advise that the T2 be Shadow Embalmment and Shadow Phoenix are just something that just carries you through it. And I will put some of those in the end of this video so you can just kind of see a little example and so on. But again, I have right here, you can see the Shrine of War. I already have the ships in here. I have more red than green because, again, I want to test the Motivate. Not many people actually use Motivate on the ships, but I thought that when you actually have a bunch of ships and a bunch of power, that you could use Motivate on one of the red ships that you summon in the back. So that's 50% more damage. And then you have the Fire Crystal that makes it everything, the more they attack, the stronger your thing gets, and so on. I did at one point use the Motivate on the Ron ships because I was trying to do this as quick as possible. But again, I use the resource boosters over here. Sorry, not the resource booster. I'm using the Shrine to get my power back. I have all type of heals, Regrowth, Revenge, Equilibrium. I don't have to worry about anything. These ships are going to be able to take care of themselves. Look. They actually attack. The only problem is the boss. It's just like the last previous video where it mentions that it only has 2 turrets attacking the boss. So instead of a bunch of turrets attacking the boss, it's just the 2 turrets. But again, it's no problem. Again, I use the Flame Crystals. If I want, I go in the back. And if you ever see Motivate being used up here, it's because I use it on one of the red ones and such. So I can actually have 50% or 55, between 50 to 55% more damage and so on. I actually summoned some of the ships back here as some of these got through, but no problem because these ships will come with me and join and stuff, and they all attack by themselves. There's no targeting and stuff like that. So just like Bataria, where you actually aim a target and everything dies by the burn, this is actually something that you don't target. You just move the ships around and everything dies by their turrets. And also, if you have, again, what's it called? A ground unit for the RPVE, like someone using a ground unit, you can still mess and match some of these abilities. Because I have a Holy Power, I only used it once, didn't really need to use it. I could have used a Holy Hero, that's actually better, and I could have used it with Motivate in the other one. And at the same time, I could have used more spells and so on if I was going with someone else, which I usually do. So as you see, Motivate is out there, activated, and you see on the top left side, the flame is activated. So the red ships are actually attacking the highest and so on. So right here, I use Revenge, 7% less damage. I use the Regrowth, and if I see it's low, I'll use Equilibrium. Can't really kill these ships when you have all these spells supporting it. And again, there's only 2 turrets hitting the boss, but it's no problem. If you're playing RPVE with 4 men, those things will die pretty easily because you have a partner that does have ground unit to be able to support you during those areas. Again, I do summon another red one over there because I am going to use it again. I'm using the Flame Crystal, the Motivate, and so on. And then I'm actually going to use Equilibrium. I actually forgot to use the Crystal, though. And then I use the Equilibrium, and I use Revenge and stuff like that. And look, I use the Offering and the Rifle Cultist so I can have more charges to summon for the red Affinity Crystal, and then finish them off. See, this is the only problem with the ships, which is only like you only target 2 turrets can only target the boss. But again, that's why the ground unit is going to be showing much better than that on the next clip and so on. But again, at the end of the part, I am going to use another Offering to summon another ships. This actually comes around to attack. Don't know how they actually got through, but either it must have been when I actually was attacking the bottom left side. Use Regrowth, no problem. Still have a lot and I mean a lot of power to be able to have the rest of them on the bottom right side to finish up the map. So again, I move with it using the motivate, and I hope I use the crystal this time. God damn it! So there is. I use the crystal, use motivate, right? There's the motivate, and everything else gets finished, and we'll be moving up to the next clip. Alright, moving into the next clip. Over here, we have the Lost Spirit ship. They're going to be missing match green and red. Doesn't matter which one you use more, unless you're actually going to be using the Flame Crystal. I don't use the Flame Crystal for this one, and so on. Don't feel like I'm going to need it, and you'll see why. I'm going to be using the Infect and the Fanatical Soul, but at one point, I am not going to use the Infect and Fanatical Soul, so you can see it without it or anything like that during this video, and so on. What I actually wanted to show in here is, again, what I did said about the Overlord in the previous video. The Overlord is especially going to be like a tank, a ground unit, so you'll be able to use all your spells, plus using your ships and stuff, and then using all abilities of the stuff that you want to use for the spells, such as I can use Thunderstorm, again, Matter Mastery, if I want to, if I don't have a Frenetic Assault, and Infect, I can use something else like Maelstrom and so on, so I can move forward with the ship as everything being damaged. You can actually put Flame Crystal somewhere in there, but you just have to miss and match the cards that you don't want to actually keep during that. This time, I actually going to be showing that I am going to micromanage it because I don't have the Shrine of War. I am going to micromanage with the Cultist Master, and they're not hard. Just press F. Oh, sorry. I keep binding F. Press hold on it. It's like that little shield, and they will not move. All you have to do is keep binding to your ability. I think mine is Z. So when I actually click on them on the top left, you see I click on them. I press Z. They use their ability. Of course, these guys are attacking me, but if they're in RPVE 9 on 4 men, if there's nothing attacking or anything like that, which majority of the time it isn't, then you actually killed it there, and then all that void power goes into the actual power pool. But again, at one point, I am going to clear this area so I can make it easier for myself. And I'm going to put this ship down here to actually stop these stupid units coming forward and trying to kill my stuff. So again, I'm going to move with the ships. I'm going to move with Overlord. Overlord, anything that is 9 Overlord, even if it gets damaged, he is going to heal from that. I still have Equilibrium, Regrowth, Revenge. I have Matter Mastery and Thunderstorm in this deck. I can actually switch it around. I can use Soul Shatter if I want to. I do use it on my Lost Soul deck, but again, that's up to you. The support that you use here, the spells that you're going to use here, is going to be up to you, to something to your flavor and stuff like that. Just like in the previous video, if I make this a version of the ground unit with fire, then I probably will use Bloodhorn, but again, I will use Shrine of War, and I will use Earthquake, which I didn't use in the previous video because, again, spell needs ground unit. So as you see right here, I actually went to just clear this area because it was quite bothering me. But all I do is I actually use all my spells, and when I use my spells, I click number 2, which you see on the top left side. I press Z, which activates its ability, and then if I want to, I can leave it to die on its own. It only has a couple seconds. I think, I don't know if it's 10 seconds or so on, before it dies, and then it feeds me, or I go back there and double click on the what's it called, I drag it and double click on the god damn it, the bugs, Nightcrawler bugs, and kill them myself quicker so I can get the void power faster. And as you see on the top right side, I have a lot of power, so I just summon one more just in case something does happen to my Overlord. Just in case something happened to my Overlord, I summon one more for emergency. Jesus, I've been coughing all day. So again, I'm gonna move forward, and look, I'm probably look. These guys actually hit extremely hard. Look, especially to your ships. They don't have a lot of health. They only have about 3,000 something. But you use Equilibrium, Regrowth, and Revenge, and you can actually survive that. Then again, I actually used the Matter Mastery wrongly in here because I was trying to actually aim it at the cannon, but you're gonna see me later use it on the cannon, so the cannon works for me and such. And you're also gonna see that I can actually recycle it, but I don't. I actually let the cannon fight for me as well, so that's why I say that sometimes when that happens, you're not gonna see that. That's me shutting down the music. It got too loud for me to concentrate. There it is. I'm actually going to aim at it. Now it's mine. I'm going to use Equilibrium, Revenge, or Regrowth. There it is. I use Regrowth. Move forward with the ships. They're all destroying everything. Overlord is helping. These guys came. I have no idea how. Again, it must be when I was on the right side, because I don't actually. I know I should have intercepted that. So again, I stopped right here for a second just to clear that out and resummon my my furnace feeder and so on. I actually killed them. You know, I don't need them anymore, so I killed them. Use the furnace on top of here, and then summon the Cultist Masters that I had to feed up, while the cannon on top dies to the group that is coming up soon. No big deal. Don't need to even recycle it. Again, I have Regrowth, Equilibrium, Revenge. I have all the heals that I ever going to need. No problem. Moving in with the Overlord. It's going to be almost at the end of the video. Video lasting only 20 minutes, which I like. And then I'll show you some clips from the other videos and stuff like that. Very small clips. So there it is. Right now, again, the ships can only target 2. The Walker is hitting hard to my Overlord, obviously, to the point that I didn't notice that it destroyed one of them. So again, I actually summoned the Cultist Master, destroy the thing, and then I tried to move a little bit more to the left because I will summon my Overlord again, but I'm going to keep an eye on it so it doesn't die. So then look, right here, summon Overlord, move forward. Again, this is XL. This is not large, so obviously my Overlord will deal his normal damage and so on. But again, I have Regrowth, Equilibrium, Revenge. I have the Cultist Master. Look, I still have more power. I still have a lot of power in my Void Power. So it's gonna be fine over here. No problem. We're gonna be able to finish that. Boom, boom, hit it up. Again, when you're playing with this type of deck, you are technically gonna be playing it with players, other players, or this is not gonna be a problem. This is something that you're gonna be seeing in war in solo. So I move forward again. Infect, gonna move in. Frantic Assault, Thunderstorm. I spent all the spell in there. I didn't really care. I just moved forward after that. It didn't really matter. Use the did I use the Matter Mastery? I think I did use the Matter Mastery at some area. I'm not sure, but something that I could have done it really quickly there and then finish everything up real quickly. See, there's no problem. We are going to move to a couple of videos of that, but this is technically partial of the decks that you actually can keep in mind. Let's move to the next one. Real quickly, I'm not going to show a bunch of video on it. Look, there's names of it. It's like last community map. Here are the time step that you can actually see some of them. Almost majority of my video do use the Lost Soul if you actually look from the beginning from beginning to end and so on. So here's just take a little quick look over here. You actually can also see a name of Batario. If you go to 1732, you'll see me using the Lost Soul Pure deck. These are actually Lost Soul Pure deck. Not all ships or anything like that, or all ship is primary unit. Then you can actually go right down here and see the Lost Soul Pure deck at 3025, where I go my own way in these RBVE 9 for the theme of the Lost Soul. So you actually can see that one right here, but there's one that I definitely wanted to show you because again I didn't actually made a video of it in right now or something like that, so you guys can see it. But this is basically what I meant with the Nature Frost, Nature Frost Shadow deck. So this is one of them where I actually warped them in front of them. Then I used the what is it called, the give me a second. I used the warp at one point, then used the Occultist Master to try to finish everything up on this community map, which was made by Emma Reza or something like that, but the short name is for Emma. And then during that time, when I moved forward onto it, again, I didn't actually quite worry about this. When I move forward to it, I do use my, what is it called? My dragons, my Lost Spirit ship with the recycle, my Regrowth, my Revenge, and my Equilibrium, and it made them look almost invincible in one of the areas. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to push it real fast forward. So you actually technically can see that because you're going to see it right here. And this was August 23 when I did this map. So again, I'm popping up all these right here so I can suck them up with the recycle and so on. And then you are going to be seeing see, as you see, this recycle is actually taking all of them. And then you're going to see me go right ahead and clear the next map completely, just with the Lost Soul Speeder ship abilities and the Giant Warden and the Giant Eye and so on, and then all these cool things with the, what's it called, Regrowth, Equilibrium, and all that. You have these dragons that you can't heal at one point or use the ability or stuff like that, but no problem. I didn't use my ships yet. Right there I did. So then I move a little bit further and further and further, and I kind of want to actually make this a little bit much more quicker. So I'm going to go ahead and times 2 this, so I can get to the point. But everything else was very clear with the Lost Spirit Ship and the Giant Worm and the Recycle. I didn't have to use too much of my normal heal, but I did use Revenge here and there. So then we're going to get to the last boss, and that's right up here. I'm going to get really close to the last boss. Pop this normally. Now, the only problem with the last boss is that you're supposed to be doing this with your partner. And during this time, my partner is still on the left side. Don't know how to open up the gate or something like that. Or has still not finished the left side area. So I need to get these, what's it called? The goddamn Wild Sapper out of here. Because these are going to kill me. And I have the ship's hits extremely hard. So when I move back, I try to actually heal myself. And then put some Revenge, Equilibrium, Regrowth. And put some, towers here to be sucked up, and then I don't have to worry anymore about it. The Lost Spirit Ship is going to be healing me with it, and during this time I was actually losing majority of my charges for it. So you see, I feel like invincible with the heals of the Recycle ships, and I'm using it as a splash on my Nature Frost Shadow deck. In the beginning, that was the only 2 type of deck that I had: Nature Frost Shadow, and then my Lost Soul, which I use the same cards in those 2 decks as a mixture and stuff like that. So that's going to be actually the end of the video. If you actually want to see more of those on top, I will be covering another video, which I'm not sure if it's going to be Amy or Shadow Phoenix. They should be a little bit shorter, but again, this is going to be the end of the examples of the specific video.